Hello, my name is Xian Chen. Today I am examining how oil price shocks are reshaping Australia's vehicle market. Let me start with the business problem. When petrol price rise, petrol vehicles become more expensive to run. This makes EVs relatively more attractive and forced traditional car sellers to adjust strategy. I use annual data from 2018 to 2025, Brent oil price, Australian petrol price, automotive fuel CPI, and EV sales. All price series are indexed to 2018 equals 100. Framework inflation and money and tracking the business cycle. So what actually happened to oil and petrol price over this period? Both series are indexed to 2018. Brent oil collapsed in 2020 due to COVID, then surged to index 141 in 2022 following the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Australian petrol broadly followed, confirming global shock transmit to Australian consumers. After 2023, Brent fell back to 97, but Australian petrol stayed around 125. Local factors, tax, exchange rates, and margin keep the price tricky. This persistent pressure on running costs driven the rest of the analysis. This price pressure didn't stay in the petrol station. It spread through the broader economy. Petrol price index and automotive fuel CPI almost perfectly overlap, confirming oil shocks feed directly into measured inflation and become a cost of living issue. There is also a second channel. The RBA raised interest rates to combat inflation, which increased car financial costs, so customers face due pressure, higher petrol running costs, and higher loan repayment simultaneously. Together, fuel inflation and monetary tightening made petrol vehicles more expensive to both run and buy. So did customers respond? The EV data suggests yes. EV sales grew from 3,600 in 2018 to 157,000 in 2025. Market share rose from 0.42% to 12.97%, a 30-fold increase. The 2020 dip aligns with the business cycle framework. Customers delay large purchases during construction. From 2021, adoption accelerated alongside the recovery and sustained high petrol price. But how strong is the link between petrol price and EV adoption? I test this with regression. I regressed EV market share on petrol price index with 8 years of data. A 1-point increase is petrol price index is associated with a 0.26 percentage point increase in EV market share. R squared is 0.751. Petrol price explains 75% of variation. The p-value is 0.005, significant at the 5% level. This is associated, not causation. And 8 observation is a small sample, so treat this as supporting evidence. Beyond charts and regression, business needs clear signals they can act on. I use an Excel IFS function to classify each year into 3 categories: low pressure, transition signal, and strong EV shift. 2018 to 2020 was low pressure. 2021 to 2020 was a transition signal, raised fuel pressure and growing EV share. 2023 onward is a strong EV shift. For traditional car sellers, expand hybrid options. For EV retailers, promote running cost savings. For fuel retailers, invest in charging service. Now, let's go to conclusion. I have three findings. Oil shocks transmit to Australian petrol price, with local factors keeping price sticky after 2023. Fuel inflation and RBA rates created pressure on petrol. I have three findings. Oil shocks transmit to Australian petrol price, with local factor keeping price sticky from 2023. Fuel inflation and RBA rate raised created dual pressure on petrol vehicle affordability, and EV adoption grows strongly, with a significant association to petrol price. At the start of this unit, I could describe traits. Now I can use economic framework to explain them, regress to qualification them. Now I can use economic frameworks to explain them, regression to quantify them, and IFS logit to turn them into decision. That's it. From description to analyze is what the unit has taught me. Thank you for listening.